So, Amazon continues to ban more anime as more light novels have been removed from Amazon. As if it wasn't already bad enough to see figurines get banned, and then, of course, the No Game No Life novel. Now, they're going after multiple light novels and removing them. This is getting absolutely ridiculous, and you can tell that with these big companies, there is an agenda against anime, and it's very obvious. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, Amazon has started going after more light novels. Now, if some of you may recall, back in March, Amazon was already getting rid of and banning anime figurines, like Hatsune Miku, for example. And then, of course, there's the No Game No Life light novel. They just recently removed all of them. So you can definitely tell there's an agenda against anime. And you know what? If they want that fight, then us anime fans, we're going to give them that fight to protect and save anime. So, JNovelClub stated this update as of a few hours ago. Grimgar Fantasy and Ash Volume 1 and Infinite Stratos Volume 3 have been blocked from sale by Amazon. They at least emailed us about it this time. Note, Grimgar Volume 1 was one of the very first ebooks we published more than 3.5 years ago. Now, isn't that interesting? Of all times, now Amazon, you decide to remove it. Bit strange, huh? So, JNovelClub then continues. We verified today that starting July 11th, all books in the series, The Greatest, Magic Master's Retirement Plan, I Shall Survive Using Potions, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, and Clockwork Planet are no longer available for sale on Amazon Kindle. So they're not even on there anymore. We have received no notification whatsoever about this and only noticed due to user complaints. Now, the thing is that if you recall, what was going on with a lot of customers was they were ordering a lot of books, a lot of light novels, and then their slate would just get wiped clean from their orders. And Amazon had just manually done this, and people didn't know what was going on. So, interesting that they had to learn from user complaints. Also, all pre-orders for Magic Master 6 were forcibly canceled today. After calling up Amazon, they said the books were removed from sale by Kindle Content Review, but couldn't say why. Just like the No Game No Life situation. They didn't give a reason, it's just they were completely removed. And when you look at everything that's been going on in terms of anime and how many other either countries or you have other platforms, they've been trying to censor or get rid of anime. So you can definitely tell that something's going on here. This is not just one of those, oh, well, maybe it's just something with Amazon. Oh, no, something's totally going on here. You can tell. People were responding stating, wow, this is getting ridiculous. I feel like someone put in a biased new algorithm because Yen Press books are getting hit with this crap too. And that's actually true. The Yen Press books, they've been getting hit as well, which is quite surprising. Which we'll get to that in a moment. Well, I'm a user of the JNC app and I buy on your website, but the situation is really a bunch of nonsense of their part. And then another person said, dump Amazon and their censorship ways. I mean, that's a good way, Amazon, to make people leave. I mean, get rid of the stuff they enjoy, then yeah, you're going to make people leave. And when you look at it, Amazon trying to already get rid of figurines, when they were removing figurines like Hatsune Miku and Kaito Tenshi Twin Angel from the storefront, and they were claiming that it was to promote very bad and offensive things, right? So, considering that's the reasoning, it's kind of funny they say that whenever they have other figurines that's not even anime related, and they don't even go after those. So, that's kind of funny to think about. Look at that double standard right there. So, Yen Press themselves, they brought this up also, saying, sadly, we have confirmed with Amazon that they have opted to remove our No Game No Life titles from their platform. Happily, there are other retailers, both physical and digital, that are thrilled to help you support for these titles in the form of cash exchange for goods. I mean, the good news is at least there are other platforms because, if you do want to get No Game No Life, you can go to Bookwalker GL. So that's good. At least there's that. And, the funny thing is, though, while Yen Press did say that they had been addressed by Amazon, they were removing their books, there was still no explanation as to why they were removing them. They were just stating that, yes, we're removing your books, we're not selling them anymore. So, when you think about it, that's pretty odd. I mean, you would definitely think that there would be some kind of an explanation for why they'd be removing them. That there'd be some kind of problem or something. But strangely enough, there is no explanation. It's just, oh yeah, we're not selling them anymore. We're removing them. It's like, are you sure there's not more of a reason? That's why I'm saying that there's definitely an agenda against anime here. And I mean, which I talked about this a bit ago and other people have as well, is that when you look at it, the Love Hina manga creator discusses manga's freedom of expression with Japanese government. And Japan's going to their government because they're afraid they may lose their freedom of expression because the West, as well as China, as we already know, they're trying to get into the anime manga scene. The West themselves, they're trying to make live action anime, where they're trying to take anime, make live action versions of it, and make it culturally appropriate. And nobody wants that. It's like the new live action Cowboy Bebop. Guarantee you that's going to flop. How they're going to censor Faye. That's going to be terrible. And then, of course, China and Tencent, how they want to get their hands on it. If they do, you definitely know they'll change things. They'll censor things, which would be terrible. That would be horrible. And that's why Japan is already trying to save their entertainment so that, they can't lose their freedom of expression from the West or China if they try to get involved. And then, of course, you have Amazon jumping in here, now banning things, where Rayforce Games stated this: Amazon banning light novel in US is just now a hot topic in Japan because Japan's paying attention to this stuff. And they're very afraid of what could happen. And this was a pretty good statement here, stating, have you finally arrived? This is a legitimate and terrifying regulation of expression by a private company that held the platform down. There is a high possibility that it will be forced in Japan. It's a risk that you can restrain the book sales platform in foreign countries. And this person has a very good point, because what they're going to try to do, I can guarantee you, they're going to try to, push open the door and get in there so they can tell Japan what's right and what's not. Try to push their colonial values onto it, as we've seen the Puritans constantly try to do. They've tried and tried multiple times to make Japan bend the knee. And, Japan, they want to be able to freely express their entertainment how they want to express it. It's a pretty scary thing if you really think about it. And, this is why Japan's trying to fight against that. So, Rayforce Game then stated this: the case of Amazon removing the light novel in the United States has become a hot topic among otaku. Here are some of the tweets that got a lot of likes and retweets. Since Amazon has a large market share in Japan, everyone is wary of the possibility of a wave of regulations. See, that's the scary thing. And people stated this: apparently Amazon in the US has stopped selling some light novels. It's not a fire on the other side of the river, but the regulations are finally here. See, and that's not a good thing, because if that were to happen, then, there could be a lot more books that could be potentially censored and completely cut out there as well. It's not looking good. That is actually a pretty terrifying thing to think about. Japan's not very happy with this, obviously. More people started to come out and state Japanese light novels and figures seem to have been removed from Amazon. And it finally feels like a culture war. But it hurts that the platform is being secured in this situation. Shouldn't the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, which used to talk about cool Japan, seriously consider this kind of thing? But still, what is protected by regulating My Next Life as a Villainess regulated, even if it's just a formality? Another person stated, there have been concerns about restrictions on distribution as well as problems with the doujinshi and credit card payments. Considering these trends to protect the Japanese style of expression and diversity, it is important to think outside of the law regulation. And that's what they're worried about. They're very worried about how the West themselves will try to push their values onto them. And that's the thing. I love how the Puritans always try to state, oh, we'll respect one's culture. And the next thing you know, they completely turn on that statement, live for that double standard, and then they try to push their values onto another country. And in this instance, this is what Japan's afraid of. They're very afraid that because of this, and because of what Amazon's doing here, there might be some changes made in their country even, which is pretty terrifying to think about. Another person stated, this is modern day regulation of expression. They've got the means to achieve de facto regulation without having to legislate. Fewer distribution channels means less profit, the market shrinks, There are no new fans, and when they insist on regulation again in a few decades, the opposition will be against it. There is no one left to do it. Look, the Western political correct is the enemy. It's the enemy. And this is what Japan is trying to prevent. This is why they went to their government. This is what they fear, and for good reason. I mean, if things change with, Amazon and Japan, that's already not going to be a good sign. That's already going to be a very bad sign. And, the Puritans, if they get their foot in the door, well, you better believe they're going to be grabbing for more. And they're going to be telling them how they can and can't do things. Because nothing's ever enough for the Puritans. Not only that, but they want control. If they can't get that control, then what are they going to do? They're going to censor it, or they're just going to get it completely removed. And that's what they're going to go for. And that's what Japan's afraid of, is losing their freedom of expression. And you better believe those Puritans, they'll get rid of it. They'll try to take away any freedom of expression if possible. And when I looked through Amazon to check to see if the light novels were there was no results for them. I couldn't find any. They had been completely removed. And other platforms have been trying to remove anime as well. I mean, you look at Patreon trying to remove anime artists, for example, with their poor explanation of how, they were looking at stating that, oh, well, characters, they look too young. Even if they're old enough, they still look too young. We can't accept that. Whenever they let characters like She-Ra, who is, in canon of that, apparently she's 16, but they let that fly. But anime apparently is bad, in their opinion. And then, of course, you look at, several months ago, you look back at the Australian senator who cherry-picked scenes, the worst scenes that they could possibly find, took them out of context, and then, of course, tried to state that, oh, anime's bad, ban it from Australia, which hilariously failed, which I did enjoy that it failed on the guy, because they stated that they have TV ratings for a reason, which was a pretty funny explanation on Australia's part. So that senator failed, and I found that to be very funny. But then, of course, you look at PayPal. You look at what happened with Project Melody back in March, March 13th, 2020 of this year. So you could see that she stated herself that, PayPal had completely froze her and are holding her donations, or at least they were. So, there was that was going on as well. They were completely against, anime cam girls, apparently. So Melody, of course, moved platforms. But it goes to show you that these platforms, they definitely have an agenda against anime. I mean, it's very obvious. Without them being able to control it, censor it, or alter it in any way that fits the way they want it to be, well, then of course they're going to remove it. And I guarantee you, we're going to see them remove it more and more. It's going to get worse, I bet you. And that's exactly why we're going to have to fight back to ensure that we save and protect anime from these Puritans and make sure that anime can still stay the way that it is. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you were new here, and make sure you were still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels, so make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.